circulation dans la gare vers les correspondances locales et régionales et les taxis.
Train to Union is arriving shortly. Proceed to the elevated portion of Platform 2 and for your safety stay back from the yellow line. Please ensure you have kept on or have a valid ticket before you board.
Assurez-vous du quai et pour votre sécurité, restez en retrait de la ligne jaune. Veuillez vous assurer que vous vous êtes connecté ou que vous avez un billet valide avant de monter à bord.
Stand clear of the doors, doors are closing.
Tonight, there are some late night service adjustments. This weekend is on Monday, May 18th.
Next stop, Mount Dennis.
Please show your card clearance. Failure to pay will result in fines. Thanks for riding with us and paying fare.
Nous vous rappelons que les contrôles des titres de transport peuvent ajourner de 3 jours.
Stand clear of the doors, doors not closing.
trip today to help keep us on schedule here and to get you to your destination on time. Please only push the yellow emergency strip when there is an emergency.
arriving at Rouge Hill. Arrivée à Rouge Hill.
skyline and everywhere aboard the Canadian, unique and artistic decoration enhances the bright mood of a travel adventure. Soft music enchants the ear. Perhaps more formal dining fits in with your desires. Well,